What's up, everyone? Stock Catcher here. In this video, I got a lot of stocks to talk about. A lot of plays driven face, plays going vertical. If you're new to the channel, my name is Stock Catcher. Sure, Trade Ideas live on Stock, Twitch, and Twitter every day, just trying to help people and make daily YouTube videos. So today, the first stock that went crazy, one of the first stock, VERB, a VERB. This one was very thin in pre-market, had a micro float, only 600k float or 500k float. That's very, very small. You combine the fact that it's very thin, it just ended up exploding. The stock went up almost $20 a share. I mentioned that area, $12 area. You could check the time I posted it, timestamp. And then this stock went almost to $30 a share. That's a massive move. So the people that traded this stock after the open, it made another move up actually, if you check. So it wasn't just pre-market. After hours, after the open, it had another opportunity. So this is a perfect example when I say every day. After I mention a stock or after a stock moves up big in general, it doesn't mean it's done a lot of the time. After it consolidates or after it pulls back, it provides many opportunity for you to trade it again. So this is my opinion, not financial advice. And this is something I do actually. Every time I see a stock that makes a nice move or it pops, right? I add it to my watch list. I have so many watch lists every day and it's big. So I just monitor it, and once it starts to get interesting, goes over those pivot, gets nice volume. That's why you see me mentioning these same stocks a couple times every single day. So that's something I recommend, in my opinion, because you're not going to see stock breakout as soon as you watch it most of the time. So most of the time, it's going to end up consolidating or end up dipping, right? It falls, and then it goes up. So that's really nice for VERB. Next one, BTBT. This was a monster trade. This stock ended up, I mentioned it right at the start. You can check the time. It was at 9 a.m. Eastern time. I said it was perking. So perking basically means when a stock starts to have some volume, it starts to get kind of interesting, right? So this stock I mentioned perking around that $2 key psychological area. If you watch my videos, you know how I talk about the key hold dollar levels as well as those quarter intervals. So 150, 125, $2 is very important when it comes to small caps. And any micro penny under 25 cents, 30 cents, and 5 cent intervals are really important as well. So I have a lot of people that are interested in micro penny stocks as well. Remember WLGS, NCNA, a lot of these stocks are very cheap. So those 5 cent levels are key. So BTBT, this one, as soon as I held that $2 level, it ended up just exploding. You could check yourself. It was trying to consolidate under 2. It was around 190. And then as soon as 2 broke with massive confirmation, past the previous high, the stock exploded all the way up, straight up to 559. This was like a 250% winner. I don't know the exact percent, but it was around 200 something percent. It was just massive win. So if you break down the stock and you watch my videos, you pretty much know by now, but if you check the float, 3 million float, that's really small float, combined with the fact that it was pre-market, right? Pre-market, there's a lot of stocks that are really thin. Thin means that it doesn't really take a lot of volume for it to set up and just rip face. So BTBT, what made this even better and made it run a lot, in my opinion, if you look at the catalyst, this stock had news, like breaking news, where it said that BTBT is including a potential merger. So if you watch my video just yesterday, I think it was yesterday or the day before, I talked about how merger acquisition is really good for the most part when it comes to small cap, right? So if you combine low float stock with merger news, and on top of that, the key psychological area, right, with high volume, you see massive 250% moves, right? And these type of moves are seriously life-changing, in my opinion, right? Because you don't need big size to make a lot. So if there's a 250% ripper and you use, let's say, just a few $1,000, and even if you don't catch the full move, right? Because I say every video my disclaimer that you're not going to catch the bottom and sell the tippy top for most of the time, right? So even if you catch a fraction of the move, let's say you only capture like 50% of a few $1,000, that's a lot. Like 4,000, that's $2,000, right? And we're talking in a short period of time. And again, everything I say in my video is not financial advice, just entertainment, but this is the potential of day trading, guys. So BTBT was a really good winner. I know a lot of people saw my trade idea because I posted it at the beginning, and I'm happy for you if you bang. So next one is CASI. This one, again, I mentioned it around the beginning. If you check the timestamp, this stock ended up
Same type of price action as BTBT. It made that kind of stair stepping up type of pattern. If you look at the chart, and also this had low float as well. So this is the thing with low float. Oftentimes, it doesn't go up 100% time, right? But once it starts to pull away, once it starts to have that type of price action where it just keeps going higher and it breaks the previous resistance, it could be really clean trade opportunity setup. Because combined with the fact that it's low float with good volume, you could pretty much trade it really cleanly, right? And you chart out your level support resistances. This stock, as soon as it broke that pre-market high, if you watch my video just 2 days ago, I remember I said it was very, very important. I'm pretty sure there was at least a few people that take my videos and write notes or help from it, right? Benefit from it. That's why I'm making these videos, because a lot of people seem to really find help in it, right? So CASI, once it broke that pre-market high, just look how much it went up. It went all the way up from, at open, it was 150 again, the key psychological area, 150 to 257. That's a massive move up. That's $1 a share gain. Again, if you use a couple hundred or even 1,000 shares, make $1 gain. That's significant money, right? So CASI, this was really nice play, and the previous one as well, BTBT. So next one, GP. This one I said it was thin, and it's also a penny. So if you remember what I said in my previous videos, anytime a stock is like a penny, more people could buy a lot of shares, right? So that's just the psychology behind it. Because if a stock is trading at 40 cents compared to $40, most people don't have huge accounts that are trading, right? Most people aren't trading with $1 million. So if a stock is 40 cents compared to $20 or $40, you could buy a lot more, which explains why a lot of times you see these pennies running really, really quickly is with high volume, right? In my opinion, that's why I like these cheaper stocks. I said in the past that the cheaper a stock is more likely going to have better price action when you're talking about small cap trading, right? So next one, PSTV, just talking about pennies. It's the same situation where this stock was a penny, and then I mentioned a couple days ago, it's like a multi-day setup, and you could check the extended time frame. This stock made a really beautiful multi-consolidation day. It started from about like a few weeks ago. I mentioned it when it was cheaper, right? And look at it right now. PSTV is making a really, really nice continuation. And this is a higher float stock. It's not like a micro float, like 5 million float stock. Combined with the fact that it usually in the past, just based on my experience, this stock usually has price action where it falls, like round trip. So this was talked about how I think bears got kind of short trapped. They got kind of tricked, right, into shorting this. And they're just getting like underwater at this point because this stock is about to break that previous extended time frame high. So once it cracks that and goes towards the next psychological pivot, this could make a nice move up. Looking at it right now, it looks really good. I'm just being honest, and that was a nice one. PSTV, I know a lot of people like this stock as well. I believe this is cancer angle, right? Cancer, we really need to help these, companies, right? In my opinion, cancer, diabetes, Alzheimer's, those type of disease. So next one, SNGX. This one I mentioned it in pre-market. I said it was like in the beginning time when it was thin, and then this one just went crazy. If you pull up the chart and where I mentioned it, this went up again several dollars. It went all the way to almost $4.50 a share. And again, same pattern. The float, if you check the float, this is a micro float, so 3 million float, combined with the fact that it just had massive volume. This is rip face. Man, these trade opportunities happen every single day. When it comes to small caps, I mentioned not just one day. It's not just luck where just one day you find that crazy winner. Because if you check my videos and you check my posts, this happens like every single day, right? Every single day where there's massive winners. And again, day trading is not easy. And it's not something that anybody could do, just like gamble, right? It really takes a lot of studying as well as a lot of risk management to do well, right, in my opinion. So next one, INMB. This one, same situation I mentioned in pre-market. I mentioned it around the beginning. I think it was Perkin. I said it was Perkin at 3. And then this went all the way to 362. This was another nice win. So 62 cents, right? That's just a lot. A lot of people might think that a stock has to rip 100-200% in a trade in order to bank big. But if you think long term, it's more about base hits, right? So not every trade idea is going to win. I said in the past, I also share many trade ideas that doesn't go good. But as long as you win more than you lose, and as long as you have strict plan while you're getting in trade as well as risk management, you will make it, in my opinion, right? So INMB, I think this one had news, but unfortunately it kind of sold off, which is happens in pre-market, right? A lot of traded days I mentioned, sometimes in pre-market they go crazy and sometimes they just sell off. That's just nature of it, because in pre-market it's really thin and it goes both ways, right? For a stock to go up a lot in a short period of time, it could also go down a lot as well, right? So you gotta be careful. So next one, SCS. This one, steel case, I mentioned it in the pre-market, or I believe at open. I said this was more of an expensive stock, and if you remember what I said about expensive stocks in the past videos, these stocks tend to have really clean trending price action. They just ride to 9 EMA. So you don't really have to, it's like more lower stress, right? Compared to those low float, micro float stocks that are cheaper. When you're talking about stocks that are more expensive, higher float, higher market cap, they're much more slower and more, it could be easier to trade for people that are kind of uncomfortable, right? Trading low float, which is why I mentioned a lot of traded days every day, so people could pick and choose which one they like. And I don't take every single trade that I mentioned. That's just, I said in the past, but I'm saying it again because I don't want people confused, right? I just take the setups that I like based on my personality and based on my strategy, right? So yeah, I don't take every single trade that I mentioned. So next one, COMM. This one, same situation. I mentioned it when it was open at the beginning. I think it was around 12, and then it just ended up ripping face to 14.68. That's a massive move up. That was like almost a $3 share gain. So that's the thing with these open stocks. So sometimes I find these, I mean, not sometimes, most of the time I find these stocks early when it opens, and then it either it has a really nice price action or it just doesn't really do anything. So you really want to pay attention to level 2. You want to see how the tape is, right? The tape is really most important when it comes to stocks that halt or have open when it just opens, right? You have to look at level 2, in my opinion. Look at the bid, look at the ask, look at volume flow, look at, the tape is really important. So there's just a few more stock. Next one, NEGG. This one, I mentioned it many times, actually. If you pull up the videos, this one, I said there was a multi-day candidate many times. And this is one of the more expensive stocks. But the float is low, so it makes really nice moves. So this one just ended up consolidating and just breaking out multi-day. It really has to clear that 70 level, in my opinion, for a really nice breakout, because there seems to be a lot of resistance in that area, that $70, $69 area. So NEGG, this one was really good. I hope people capitalized on this price action because this was really clean. As soon as it goes up, it had really nice follow through on this stock. So next one, ELWS. I said this was thin, and then it ended up making I think it was like $1 move up. It was really nice, but it didn't make a huge move as the volume wasn't really high enough. But this one you still want to monitor, because look at the extended time frame. This is a multi-day setup. This is stock that looks like it's kind of setting up for a bigger move, right? Because this is micro flow, 1 minute flow as well. And yeah, there's PBM. This one was also a really nice win. At the open, it kind of pulled back towards the open time, and then it made that big pop off. It was like, again, this was like $2 move or $1.50. So there's many setups like this every day where it's not gonna go up 100%, right, or 200%. Even if it goes up, let's say 50 cent or even 20%, that's very, very solid. Because I see people on the YouTube chat that I do live stream, by the way, that are understanding this. I see people, they're saying that like base hits, they take the 10%, they take the small wins because they compound. They add up, guys. I'm telling you that you don't have to, and I don't think, in my opinion, not financial advice, I don't think that you should be aiming for every trade to hit 100%. I think that's really bad, in my opinion. You want to focus more on the compounding, right? I hope people understand what I'm saying. So yeah, guys, I did a good job today on making the video shorter. I'm trying my best every day to make it closer to 10 minutes, not 20 minutes, because I know that people are busy, as well as if you're busy, I recommend you watch it on 2x speed. So yeah, this video, there's a lot of runners, as you see, and every day Share Traded is live, guys. So we're gonna be back at it tomorrow morning. Stock Catcher signing out, guys. Have a great day.